Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Now in today's video I have a story time video for you guys, and basically I think this perfectly showcases just how much your body changes when you are pregnant and how much a pregnancy can change the way your body not only looks and feels but just the way your body reacts to certain things. I went to get my bloods done recently and it was a very different experience to what I would normally have, and it did shock me, and it's all because of the pregnancy. Here in the United Kingdom, the second that you find out you're pregnant and you report it to like the doctors, or you ring the midwife centre, your local midwife centre, you then get, pretty much as quickly as possible, you then get arranged an appointment. And in this appointment, a nurse will basically just check you over. You'll get a massive amount of information just thrown at you, such as what to eat, what not to eat during pregnancy, how far along you are estimated to be. They'll also check your body mass index or your BMI. They'll take your bloods, and they will also test your urine, your blood pressure. They'll do kind of a bit of a health check on you. And so I went for this appointment, I want to say over a month ago now, and my BMI was checked, my urine was checked. I got all of this information thrown at me, got a few booklets, a few leaflets, and then it came to having my bloods done. And normally when I have my bloods taken, there are absolutely no issues. I'm not someone who has a fear of needles. I'm not someone who usually has a massive issue with actually, finding veins and things like that. The only time I have actually had issues with getting bloods taken was when I was in hospital back in 2007, when I had the issues with my back, and I had to get bloods taken every single week, and sometimes they would need to go in more than once. And at the end of that experience, I was like a pincushion and they couldn't find any veins anywhere. But that was obviously because they were taking so much blood from me every week, doing the tests that they needed to do. That's the only time that anyone has ever had any problems getting blood out of me. Normally it's just straightforward job. Not this time, not now I'm pregnant. I can't even go and get my bloods done. So straight away she goes and she starts trying to find the veins. They put that clamp on your arm, and you're like told to kind of do this or this to try and make the veins show up basically. And straight away she was looking and she was looking some more. No veins. She could not find a single vein. She tried to go in once and move the needle around, nothing. And so she tries the other arm, still absolutely nothing. She looked in my wrists, couldn't find a good enough vein and a strong enough vein to take blood out of. She tried my hands, nothing. And the thing is, you guys, they needed quite a chunk of blood from me. This isn't just a tube that they're looking for. They really needed to find a decent vein that was going to give 5 or 6 tubes of blood. Basically what they do with these bloods is, and this is the same with any kind of, pregnancy, they test your blood for all kinds of different things, sugar levels, and they test for sexually transmitted diseases. They test for all sorts with these bloods, and I truly do. I think it's absolutely fascinating and so interesting. So they needed quite a few tubes of blood and they just weren't getting anywhere. So this poor nurse, bless her, she was looking for like a long time, and then she finally just kind of gives up a little bit and she calls someone else in, and then they start looking for the veins. And this new woman couldn't find anything either. I think she actually put the needle in, thought she'd found something, wasn't having any of it. So then after a little while again of looking, having that clamp thing on my arms, I was starting to get a little bit like worried. Because normally, like I say, getting bloods just isn't a problem for me. And then the third woman comes in, she gets called over. Can you see if you can try to get blood out of this woman for me, please? Somebody, please find a vein in this poor woman's arm, because I wasn't giving anything away. So this third woman comes over she has a look. And this is when I started to feel a bit ill, and I was already starting to get bruises on my arm where they'd, you know, gone in, couldn't find anything, poked around a little bit, couldn't find anything, and had to come back out. I obviously, you know, very common pregnancy symptom is sickness. And I have continuously had quite a funny, sensitive tummy throughout the whole first trimester of pregnancy. So I was starting to feel a little bit ill. I was feeling sick. I was starting to feel more sick, a bit hot, you know. And one of the nurses asked me, she said, "Are you feeling okay?" And I was like, honest. And I just said, "I'm actually starting to feel a little bit ill at this point." I said, "I feel a bit sick and I'm starting to get a little bit hot." And they kept going for a little bit longer, trying to find veins, having those clamps on my arms. And then my arms started to feel a bit funny. And then I started to feel very, very faint, like my vision was going blurry a little bit. And I was boiling hot. I felt very, very sick. I was like pretty much on the verge of fainting. And the last straw for me was when I lost my hearing in this ear. And all of a sudden, I just started to panic a little bit. And I kind of just said, yeah, I've like lost all my hearing in this ear. Like all of this body, this side of my body was just starting to kind of shut down almost. And so they sat me down in a more comfortable chair. They got me, they were lovely, by the way, the nurses. They really did try and look out for me. They gave me a drink. They made sure I sat down in a nice comfy chair. They made sure I rested a little bit. And the second that those clamps were off my arms and they stopped trying, within about 5 minutes, I felt loads better. So they all went off for a second, and then the main nurse who was first seeing me came back into the room I was in, and she said, "Okay, you've got 2 options for today, basically." She said, "I can send you up to the pregnancy assessment unit where they can basically try to get blood out of you today." She said, "I'm not quite sure how long you will be waiting for. It depends how many other patients are waiting in the pregnancy assessment unit." She said, "You can do that and wait for I'm not sure how long, or you can come back another day and we can like try again." And I was like, I'll come back another day. She made a brand new appointment for me for the Monday. She said, "We really need these bloods ASAP, because we're not 100% sure how far along you are." I'm really sorry if you can hear banging, by the way. Next door are having some work done. And so I went back on the Monday. She checked me over, the nurse, still couldn't find any veins, and they sent me straight up to the pregnancy assessment unit. And there was no wait, they were expecting me. So I went straight in to see a lovely lady who got blood out of me straight away. And it was just such a weird experience, you guys. Like, I've never had any kind of problem like that, and I've never felt like that to the point where, you know, I've lost hearing. It was a little bit scary. Wow, like pregnancy really can change you completely. And yeah, I've never reacted ever to having my bloods taken quite like that before. It was quite the experience, I can assure you that. But that was it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. Do you have a similar story about getting your bloods taken during pregnancy, or do you have a similar story about how your body is completely changed? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video.